You mentioned that I guess at Burger King you got written up for using the N word in the song.
Yep.
So let's talk about that often venerated. I think the NAACP one time said we need to have a funeral for the N word or something
Yeah.
crazy like that. What do you think about using the N word in general and your use of the N word?
I use it out of habit because that's how we grew up. It was N-word this, N-word that, my N-word. You know what I'm saying? It was used as a term of endearment. It was used to say you fucking up. It was used to say I'm gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Different things. But as I'm getting older, and what I didn't like hearing is when my sons are referred to as nigga. I don't like that. Like, I don't like my sons be referred to as nigga, savage, none of that stupid shit. Here, young black boy, young black man. You know what I'm saying? And it's a two-sided street. I mean, yeah, it was used to tear us down and all this other shit and stuff like that. And I get that, and that's what some people are harping on, like that NAACP. That was a word that hurt the black community and all this other stuff. Rah. You know what I'm saying? But basically, and I think it was Marlon Wayans and his stand-up. I think it was him. It was some stand-up. I think it was him. But you know what I'm saying? It's a term of endearment for us. It's a word that, and something that we do as a community, as a people all the time, is the stuff that's meant to hurt us. We flip that shit and make it work for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that word was meant to hurt us, demean us, all that other stuff. We flip that shit and turn it into a form of endearment. You know what I'm saying? Because when somebody, hey man, you my N-word, bro, you're like, oh man, we're really good friends. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And as far as other races using it, to me personally, just that's me personally, I don't care. Because that word doesn't really affect me like other words. Like, if a Caucasian person was to call me a nigga, thank you, but get it right, I'm that. And then you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, if you call me a colored, I'm about to fight your ass. I'm weird like that.
Sure.
But little quick story. So like I said, other races using it. So my wife is Chamorro. She's from Guam. She uses this all the time. I don't have a problem with it. It's cool. We were out in public. We was at Urban Air. And she was talking to Tanya's boyfriend. And she was real loud. She was like, nigga. And I said, hey, babe, it's cool at home, but you might not want to just holler that out like that here because it might cause an issue. And she got upset with me. And I wasn't saying you can't say this shit. I was saying you don't want to say this shit because it's gonna lead to an issue. Somebody gonna say something, and you know me. Soon as you say, what the fuck you say? You talking to my wife, my kids, my sister, my mama, you, anybody. You talking to somebody that's close to me out the way. I'm gonna act a damn fool. It's a touchy word to some people. And then at the same time, some of our people, they use that as an excuse to act ignorant anyway. It was like, oh, he called me. Oh, I'm about to kill him. Shout out to Twisted T, by the way. But I mean,
shout out to it.
He mollywopped that motherfucker,
man. But see, the dude, we going on topic for a little bit.
Go ahead.
But if you look at that video, that dude that was popping off at the mouth, he wasn't paying attention because I know you saw it from the very beginning. I knew how that was going to end.
Yeah, the way he had that damn can grip.
I saw how he had that can, and he was just debating on how he was going to hit him with that can.
And then as soon as that he tried to swing and that bitch dropped, that's when the white dude should have just shut the hell up.
Yep.
But he didn't. He just kept popping. We could go outside.
And it was glorious. It was glorious.
But yeah, man, so that's really my take on the N-word. I'm really curious to see what your take is. Not saying that you're a Carlton or no shit like that, because you sure the hell ain't. But just your take on it, because you work in a corporate atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? A really diverse atmosphere, I guess. Kind of like what I do, but I'm pretty sure yours is more diverse than mine is. So what is your take on the N-word?
It's evolved. I mean, again, like we said, we grew up in that 2000 Georgia crunk music, so it was in every song, everywhere, whole verses, all bars. So, I mean, then
because it fit, like, oh, I'm gonna pull the trigger,
right. And so, I mean, to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I would never use that word, and I have never used that word. I'd be lying.
Mm-hmm.
So I've used it. I don't use it as much as I do now because I personally feel that there are, whether we want to flip it and use it as a term of endearment, I get that. I do respect that. But for me, I feel there are better words that I can use to describe the people that I talk to. Like you are my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There are things that I can call you to build you up and not try to even take the negative and flip it into a positive. Let's just start with the positive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I really like when people are calling, like referring as kings and queens and like that to a degree. But
Immigrants.
but I like that. I like that respect. So
Yeah.
I like to show those with respect. But when you see people acting stupid and you're like, oh, they being some niggas right now. That's about the extent of where it might get used. But as far as me using it in conversation, I don't use it as much as I used to at all. But yeah, it still comes out from time to time as habit. But I try to avoid it and try to set the example because I don't want, these kids now don't care if anybody calling it because they don't necessarily understand the gravity of that word and
So
how harsh it was used just 2 generations ago. So for that, and that's where it gets into the thing about if other people use it. If you call me one, I'm not gonna haul off and hit you. I'm not gonna haul off and take you out and nothing like that, because nothing you can say to me is gonna impact me because I just don't care. I know who I am and I know what I am. So
depending on what mood I'm in.
but now if you say something to my wife, my children, my mother, my family, you might not see tomorrow. And it's
Spoken.
it's just that simple. And it's about the respect that I have for those in my family. I refuse to let them get
Yeah,
disrespected. And so
and that's our
that's
job, man. We're
yeah.
protectors, man. So you're
And
not
and
gonna.
that's how I feel. Right.
But that's what's up,
So
man.
I mean I mess with Janae. I'm like, you can't say the word,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it doesn't offend me, but I also know that you've taken the time to teach her the connotation of that word.
Yeah.
Now, if she were of a different ethnicity, I don't know how I would feel. I may feel a little different, and that may be biased, but it just is what it is. I don't know. I think going off and saying we're gonna have a funeral for the N word,
That's
waste
for
of
sure.
time and
Mm-hmm.
energy and effort.
But
Let's do
it's
more.
not gonna stop.
Let's do more productive stuff than and worry about this one word in the English language that's causing all this strife.
Mm-hmm.
Let's build. Let's do more productive stuff than
So,
worry about a word.
and a lot of celebrities have been getting jammed up for their use of the N word. So, my question is, do you really think they're like racist and bigots and all that other shit, or do you think they're in a type of circle where they're comfortable using that word and it just a slip of the tongue? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think you'd have to look at their circle. I mean, I think in some circles, if they're all the same, then they may be a bigot. But I think there are some that like especially the younger celebrities that don't really know any better.
Yeah.
I think as the younger generations, as we get further removed, they start to hold less of an understanding of the negative significance of that word.
Mm-hmm.
And they just like, oh, I hear it in a song, so I should be able to say it. It should be fine. You say it, so why shouldn't I be able to? It's just a word.
Right.
So I think it's a little more of an ignorance than a bigot more often than not. Now, if you 40, 50, 60, 70, you might have some races in you.
Yeah.
But if you're like 15 to say mid 20s, I don't necessarily think so in most cases. And it depends on where you are. And it depends on if it's an A versus that hard ER. That
Mm-hmm.
that makes a difference too. So
Tiger. Like, hold on.
so no.
That does something to me though.
Yeah. So I mean we grew up in Georgia, so we heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And it meant in the most negative way possible. But again, like I said, I know who I am. And because I know who I am, nothing anybody can say to me is going to change that. So I wouldn't give somebody else that power over me to use one word and make me lose my mind.
Yeah.
But I will let you know what you say. Did you say your slip is showing?
Yep.
I call them to the table real quick. It's not that it's not that big of a deal, but I'm not gonna make it the end of the world and make it cause for fight and jeopardize everything I have for somebody being stupid. And that's why I look at it.
And when you're in a particular space, you have to think about stuff like the N-word a little differently. Like, am I really gonna lose my security clearance? Cause this little punk ass, smelling like wet dog ass, punk motherfucker ass call me out my fucking name and fuck up what I got going on my family. I'm gonna let him ride. It's just me here ride. I don't give a damn what I got going on. You say something to anybody that's that close to me, anybody that share the same blood with me or I'm married to, I'm firing your ass up. No talking. But that's my take on the N-word, man. It's one of those debates that's been going on for decades, and honestly, it's not going nowhere. They still gonna say it in a hateful tone. We still gonna say it in a what's the word I used earlier?
Term of endearment.
We're still gonna use it the same way. Because I mean, truthfully, sometimes that's the only word. Because I even do dumb shit, and I say to myself after I do the dumb shit, I'll be like, "Nigga, oh, Kevin, damn." Sometimes that's the only word you can say.
Right. I mean, to each his own. I mean, it's just, to me, in some respects, it's kind of along the same lines of people that don't cuss. There's other words.
Shit, I don't cuss. I don't cuss some shit.
Right.
Carry on.
If you decide to use it, that's your business.
Yep.
You're not going to get silly stares from me and talking about, we need to do better, we need to overcome. I got energy devoted elsewhere.
Yeah, indeed. So the N-word, I mean, if you want to use it for hate, then you a hateful motherfucker. Your parents are probably fucking siblings. Fuck you. I love it. And if you use it just because that's what you grew up on, I mean, don't change your way of speech. But however, don't be in an interview saying, yeah, man, me and my niggas used to, you know what I'm saying, move these boxes from left to right while I was working at UPS. Man, I love them niggas, right? Don't do that.
I hope nobody's out there doing that.
I'm pretty sure somebody's done it at least once. Don't do that. In a professional setting, keep it professional. If you're at home or whatever, around your family, do what you're going to do. But don't call your sons that, because that's all they're going to think they are.
Right.
They say, oh, I'm a savage. Oh, I'm that nigga. I'm a real nigga. No, teach them young princes and princesses how to be kings and queens, like you said earlier.